Hello there you guys, welcome to another one of my live videos, and today I'm just going to be officially updating you on some more current and latest news. So big breaking news has just been reported in the press a couple of hours ago in relation to Romelu Lukaku. I've only just noticed this, guys, to be quite honest. So reports have come out about Romelu Lukaku a couple of hours ago, saying that reportedly he will miss the FA Cup clash against Wolves on Saturday evening because he has suffered an ankle injury reportedly as Romelu Lukaku. We don't know how long he's going to be initially out for, but reports do explain that reportedly Manchester United's victory over PSG by 3 goals to 1 in the Champions League. Reportedly, this is when Romelu Lukaku had currently suffered this injury. Reportedly, this ankle injury. Reports do currently say as well that reportedly United have sent Lukaku for the scan. So reportedly, it's confirmed he will be sidelined. He will miss the game at the weekend against Wolves as well. And I think he's set to miss Belgium's game. Belgium's game in the international, because obviously the international break is coming up soon as well. So I think he's set to miss Belgium's games as well, when the international break does come ahead as well. So we are going to be without Romelu Lukaku because he has suffered an ankle injury as it's officially confirmed as well. And he is going to be a big miss, to quite honest. And I did say in this Wolves game, Solskjaer will make alterations. He will rotate the squad with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as I currently said. But Lukaku's been in really good form of late, to be quite honest, as Romelu Lukaku. He was unlucky not to get his name on the score sheet against Arsenal on Sunday because he created quite a few chances. We had chances of his own, and Lukaku could have had at least 2 goals against Arsenal on Sunday, to quite honest. But before that, he scored 6 goals in 3 games as well, and he has been in really good form as Romelu Lukaku. And I know there's been speculation of him reportedly, leaving Manchester United in the summer, and if reportedly Manchester United do decide to sell him, he's indicated that he does want to make the move to Juventus, Romelu Lukaku as well. If Manchester United do decide to sell him, and obviously we'll want to recoup the initial £75 million we did pay for him, from Everton. But overall, he's got a good ratio and he has got a good pedigree in the Premier League, because he has scored loads and loads of goals. Mainly, he hasn't really been first choice anywhere, but considering the string of injuries we've had in the last couple of weeks at least, as well as most recent, Lukaku's been given more of an opportunity, and he has been very impressive, and I think him and Rashford, I think he looks very effective, when he's getting that support up front, Romelu Lukaku. So I think he looks very effective alongside Rashford in that front line, to be quite honest with you, as Romelu Lukaku. And I think he looks better, Lukaku, and he performs better when he's getting support up front, because he's not reliable enough, when he's playing up top on his own, to get all them sprints in behind and make them runs and all that as well. But it has confirmed he has suffered an ankle injury as Romelu Lukaku, so he's definitely going to miss this game against Wolves, as Romelu Lukaku said. Don't know when he's going to be back from this ankle injury he's suffered. United have sent a scan. There has been a scan that has been confirmed. We have scanned Lukaku, but it's confirmed he's going to remain sidelined as well, and he's set to miss Belgium's international games as well, as reports do currently say. So he is going to be a big miss. Good news is I think Herrera will be involved against this game against Wolves as well, because Solskjaer did say that he's hopeful that Ander Herrera can be in contention to play against Wolves, because Ander Herrera, of course, has been out with a hamstring injury as well, and mainly has been a big miss as Ander Herrera, to be quite honest with you, he has been a big miss as Ander Herrera, because his performances under Solskjaer have been very good. When he has been fully fit, he's been breaking the play very well. He's been playing more regularly from the start as Ander Herrera as well. So I think he's going to be involved against Wolves as well. And mainly the main attacking midfield trio Solskjaer has been mainly going with. Before obviously we got these string of injuries. He's been going with obviously Herrera, Matic, and Pogba as a midfield trio, of course, as well. So it's looking like Herrera's going to be in contention. It is unlikely that Juan Mata and Jesse Lingard will feature in this game as well, because I don't think Lingard will be fully fit enough, to be involved against Wolves as well. Even though Lingard's performances have been very good for Manchester United as well. When he has been fully fit, of course, as well. And he's still very young in his generation, and he does provide good pace on that right hand side, where mainly Solskjaer's been putting him, when he has been fully fit as well. Jesse Lingard, so he's been a miss, and of course Juan Mata's unlikely to feature in the game against Wolves as well, because obviously Juan Mata, of course, has still got a hamstring injury. I don't think he'll be fit enough, to be involved against Wolves at the weekend as well. And of course, Alexis Sanchez, of course, is out for 4 to 6 weeks with a current injury as well. And I think Sanchez is definitely on his way out of Manchester United, to be quite honest with you. And I think it will be hard for Manchester United, to find a buyer for Sanchez in the summer. This is why Manchester United maybe are considering sanctioning him out on loan, because obviously considering, the staggering amount of wages he gets, which is obviously over £500,000 a week, it's going to be hard to find a team that's going to pay all his current wages. So unless Sanchez is willing to take a wage cut or something like ice, but he's really struggled to fit under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's system. We know mainly anywhere, Sanchez hasn't been first choice, because obviously when we've had majority of his players fit, obviously Martial's been mainly first choice on that left hand side, as I currently said. But I think Sanchez is on his way out of Manchester United. He's been here just over a year, he's suffered quite a few injuries, and he's got a current knee injury now as well as Alexis Sanchez. So he's nowhere near the player he was at Arsenal. He is age now 30 anyway, so he has basically lost that yard of pace as well. So he's out for 4 to 6 weeks. Is Sanchez as well. The good news is Martial will be playing in this game, because he's now recovered from injury, which is very, very good indeed, because he came on in the Arsenal game last week as well. Wasn't that impressive, to be quite fair, when he came on against Arsenal last week. But he's been a big Mrs. Anthony Martial, because when he has been fully fit, he's been a very, very consistent player. He provides, great pace on that left-hand side as Anthony Martial as well. He provides, he can score goals and all that as well. So it's good to see him back as well. Of course, Nemanja Matic, of course, he's back as well. He's back from injury now, because he was out, with a muscle injury not too long ago. Of course, he started in the Arsenal game as well. And to be quite honest with you, he was very, very disappointing, against Arsenal, was Nemanja Matic. He was very, very disappointing. I thought he slowed the midfield down. I thought that midfield looked very, very ineffective, to be quite honest with you. And I thought Matic had a really, really poor game against Arsenal, to be quite honest with you. But I still think, regardless of the injury, that he currently suffered, overall, his performances have actually, improved under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Nemanja Matic. Because I did say a lot of people have got strong reservations about Matic, because he's slow, just like Lukaku is slow, but he still can finish and score goals. But Matic is very, very slow, as I said. But I think his distribution's improved. He has looked more effective in his passing as Nemanja Matic as well. So overall, I've been impressed with his performances, but he did have a poor game against Arsenal as well. So it's good news, that he's currently back as well. But considering, the string of injuries, we have had in that midfield, it has allowed more opportunities for the likes of Fred, McTominay, and I have been impressed, with Scott McTominay, to quite honest, because his performances when he has been playing recently, due to the injuries he've had, he's performed very, very well. He's been playing between the lines well. He's been playing them precise passes well as well as Scott McTominay. Haven't been too impressed with Fred, to be quite honest, even though maybe Fred could be involved in this Wolves game as well. Fred, for me, to be quite honest with you, Fred, he hasn't really had the game time that I'd like, so he has lacked game time as Fred, but when he has been playing, I don't think he's really made an impact, to be quite honest with you. I know we got him last summer from Shakhtar Donetsk, to be quite honest with you, but I don't know if he's a long-term solution, to be quite honest with you, Fred, to be quite honest with you, and I don't really, really highly rate him, to be quite honest with you, but could still be involved in the Wolves game as well. We do know one thing for sure, that Ashley Young, of course, is suspended for this game against Wolves as well. So it's likely that Diego Dalot, will be playing at that right back. Even though when we have mainly been playing him recently, we have been playing Diego Dalot, in more of an attacking position. To be quite fair, he has looked very, very good on that right wing, to be quite fair, as Diego Dalot. But obviously with Ashley Young currently suspended, and obviously Antonio Valencia is still out for injury. I think he's out for a couple of weeks with injury. Antonio Valencia, he's currently got a calf injury as Antonio Valencia, and he's out for a couple of weeks, and he's one of the likely players that's going to leave Manchester United in the summer, Antonio Valencia, because obviously we opted against the decision, to give him that new 1-year contract extension as well, and he's been one of the longest serving players here. This is his 10th season now at Manchester United. Of course, he's won everything domestically. He's made over 300 appearances in all competitions, and he's age 33 now anyways, Antonio Valencia. And just like Ashley Young, I think he's on his way out, even though Manchester United have signed a 1-year extension on his current contract. So he is here until 2020, but by the time his contract expires, he will be nearly around 35 years of age, will Ashley Young anyway. So that in that scenario, he's obviously, coming to an end of his playing career. And I think anyway, when he has been playing, and obviously mainly he's our first choice right back, he's been getting exploited, far too easily on that right hand side, as I said. So Young won't be participating in this game because of course he's suspended, and obviously Antonio Valencia is out injured as well. So obviously Diego Dalot will probably fulfill in that right back position. Probably will stick with the same centre back, partnership of Smalling and Lindelof, because obviously since Smalling has recovered from injury, obviously Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has obviously been going with Smalling and Lindelof as a centre-back partnership. And it's quite fair. I think they've been blending in fantastically well together, of Chris Smalling and Victor Lindelof, if I'm going to be quite honest, because this is what Smalling's ninth season now as a Manchester United player, of course. But as I did say, I'd prefer, Bay and Lindelof as a centre-back partnership, because I know Bay's been in and out of the team this season, but I think, Eric Bay has still got great potential, as I currently said, and I still think, his number of the interceptions he makes are absolutely unbelievable, of Eric Bay's, to be quite honest. But we know since Smalling's recovered from injury, Solskjaer has gone with Smalling and Lindelof centre-back partnership, and I think since Smalling's recovered from injury, I think, to be fair, his performances have improved. He didn't have a great game against Arsenal, to be quite honest with you, in my opinion, but I've been impressed with Lindelof this season. I think, his performances have been fantastic, indeed. He's showing that determination, he can play up from the back, gallop forward, and all that, as well, Victor Lindelof, so I have been very, very impressed with his performances as well. Definitely left back, he'll go with Luke Shaw, because obviously he's our first choice left back, is Luke Shaw as well. In goal, he'll probably drop De Gea, and he will go with Sergio Romero. We know initially, obviously, De Gea is obviously, better than the Sergio Romero, but obviously in the three previous rounds of the competition in the FA Cup, obviously Sergio Romero has started in goal, so he'll drop De Gea and he will start Sergio Romero, I should presume, as well. There has been talks, I think, that Mason Greenwood could be involved in this game against Wolves as well. I think recent reports did say he suffered some kind of illness, Mason Greenwood, so I think it's going to be Rom out, because obviously Romelu Lukaku's just suffered an ankle injury, as I'm updating you on, and all the other news that's been going on. And Mason Greenwood, I think Rom out and Mason Greenwood in, so it would be interesting to see, if Mason Greenwood could make his FA Cup debut for Manchester United as well, because obviously he participated in the Arsenal game, because obviously he came on in the Arsenal game as well, Mason Greenwood. So Solskjaer will make, he will rotate the squad will Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as I currently said. Phil Jones, he's also been ill as well. Maybe could he be involved in the game? Could he come on as a substitute or something like that, Phil Jones, because he's been unwell as Phil Jones. As I always said, I don't really highly rate, Phil Jones, to be quite honest with you, even though he has been here since 2011, 2012. He can be good sometimes, when he can get them running games, Phil Jones, sometimes he can put a good shift in, but he is injury prone and he has suffered quite a few injuries, since he's been a Manchester United player, of course, but he has been out with illness as well. But it's good news, that players are now coming back from injury, because of course, we had 7 players out against Arsenal at the weekend, so it's looking like Ander Herrera now is coming back into contention. I think it's Mata's still out, Mata is still out, Lingard's still out, of course we know Sanchez is out as well. But yeah, that's a bit of news. But we know it's not going to be easy, playing Wolves, because Wolves are in really, really good form this season. To quite honestly, the record against the big teams has been very, very impressive this season of Wolverhampton Wanderers. To be quite honest with you, they've done really, really well against the big teams this season. Sitting 7th in the Premier League as well. And Nuno Santo, I think, has done a really, really good job with Wolves. Of course, won the Championship with them last season. This is why they're in the Premier League this season. Of course, as well, Wolves progressed them to the FA Cup quarter-finals as well. And the record against the big teams has been very, very good this season. Of course, they got Liverpool out of the FA Cup. They got a draw with us at Old Trafford in the league earlier on in the season as well. But this is actually the 100th meeting, this game between Wolves and Manchester United in all competitions. The last time we played Wolves in the FA Cup, it was in the 4th round, as I did say, back in 2005-2006. Manchester United won that game 3-0, and it actually was at Molineux. The last time we played Wolves in the league at Molineux, actually Manchester United won the game by 5-0, and this was 5-0, and this was back in 2012. So this was 7 years ago, something like that. So hopefully somewhere along the line where we can go all the way in the FA Cup, and we hope that we can win the FA Cup. Of course, well, we've still got a chance, of winning 2 trophies. We can win the FA Cup, we can win the Champions League. Of course, we know Champions League football for next season is very essential. Of course, as well. So obviously we can have a more competitive summer transfer window. Of course, because Solskjaer's come out and he has basically made it clear. He's told the Manchester United board that he wants 4 summer signings. This is what Solskjaer said, and has identified, some of the areas, where, of course, Manchester United do need to strengthen up as well, from his own current perspective. But I do believe, we can either get the top 4, because there's quite a few teams in the race now for that top 4, or I do believe, we can win the Champions League and get automatic Champions League qualification and get obviously into the Champions League for next season. And in that scenario, obviously, I think we're getting around £200 million spending this summer, but if we can win the Champions League and all that, obviously, we'll invest more money as well, which will be very, very very good indeed. Obviously, we got all the way to the final last season in the FA Cup. As I said, we obviously lost 1-0 to Chelsea in the final last season. Eden Hazard had scored from the penalty spot as well. So I do believe, we can get to the final. Of course, we know Manchester City are still in it, so we have got a great chance of getting them in the semi if we can get past Wolves. And but I think have Manchester City got Swansea? If I can remember right, I think Manchester City have got Swansea. Of course, the Champions League draw is coming up tomorrow, as I remind you on a regular basis. I won't be doing it live because I'm out tomorrow through the day. I will give you my reaction on that. Of course, tomorrow evening sometime as well. I think the draw is going to be at 11 o'clock tomorrow. All the 4 English teams have qualified to the next round, so all 4 English clubs are into the quarterfinals. That's the first time for like 10 or 11 years, is it something like that as well. So it'd be interesting to see who we get. I can't remember all the teams are through. I think Juventus are through out there. Tottenham obviously are through. Liverpool are through as well. Manchester City, of course, are through. Porto are through. Barcelona are through as well. Who else? Ajax are through as well, and Ajax have got a very young team, as we all know as well, and they actually knocked Real Madrid out. Liverpool are through, as I said. What other teams? So there's quite a few teams, that are through, of course. So there's a big chance, we could either get City, we could get Liverpool, we could get Tottenham, but we'll see what happens, when the draw comes out tomorrow as well. So as I've been updating you today, guys, as I did say, update on a regular basis today. Reports have been coming out today in relation to Toby Alderweireld, as I've updated you on a regular basis. Reports are saying now that Tottenham are resigned to losing Toby Alderweireld to Manchester United, because reports are coming out saying that Man United are expected to sign Toby Alderweireld in the summer, reportedly, after Toby Alderweireld refusal to renew his contract with Tottenham, reportedly, and it did say he could be available for around £26 million, of course, because obviously last year Tottenham activated a 12-month extension, of course, and Tottenham included a release clause in this as well of around £26 million. So he is still now initially under contract with Tottenham till 2020, so he has got a year on his contract left. Toby Alderweireld, of course, has just recently turned 30 years of age, of course, as well, and obviously Manchester United, of course, were linked with him last summer, of course, as well, but obviously, we couldn't come to an agreement to get him last summer. But Toby Alderweireld, probably not a lot of United fans, probably wouldn't want him now, because obviously he's aging up. He's just turned 30 years of age. He has lost that yard of pace, to be quite honest with you, as Toby Alderweireld, and he is well Premier League proven. I do think he'd be a good leader in our back line, if he was to come to Manchester United. Of course, Toby Alderweireld, as I currently said, he has been at Tottenham since 2015, so this is like his 4th season with Tottenham. He has made over 100 odd appearances in all competitions as well. But I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has actually recently come out in the press, and I think there has been a bit of change of transfer plans, to be quite honest, because actually Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has basically said he would prefer to recommend a right winger to come to Manchester United in the summer. So basically what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer said is recent stories have come out in relation to what he said, saying that he's not interested in buying any defenders in the summer. He's focusing on more of attacking. He's focusing on attacking additions to the squad reportedly. So Solskjaer's priority is to get a right winger into Manchester United in the summer, and he's not too interested in buying any defenders in the summer, because obviously Ole Gunnar Solskjaer said he wants to give his current defenders a chance to impress and prove themselves, and this is what basically Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has currently said. So we will reports said we will hold off buying defenders in the summer, and we are turning more intentions on looking to get a right winner to Manchester United this summer, of course, as well. But Toby Alderweireld has been mentioned. That would be tempting, because £26 million is a reasonable fee for a player that's well Premier League proven. He can be a world-class central defender, when he currently wants to be, as I said. So reports have been coming out today saying that reportedly Manchester United are leading the race. It also said Juventus and Barcelona had also been interested in him as well. But Tottenham would probably want to lose him, because it will be hard, for Tottenham, to currently find a replacement for Alderweireld as well. But there's been a news going on about that today as well in the media. I try and keep up, with as much transfer rumours as I possibly can as well. We know obviously in that right wing position, there has been a few wingers that Solskjaer has monitored and interested in reportedly, and we know the main one is obviously Jadon Sancho, as I have been updating you about him on a regular basis as well. And Jadon Sancho, of course, reports have been coming out saying that Manchester United are prepared to pay up to £100 million for Jadon Sancho, or prepared to pay £80 million or whatever. This would make him the most expensive English footballer ever. If we were to come to an agreement to get him in the summer, I don't think Borussia Dortmund are willing to do any business, to quite honest, because I think Borussia Dortmund are being ruthless, to standing firm. Borussia Dortmund know how much of an essential player Jadon Sancho is to them. Of course, in relation to as well, the director of Borussia Dortmund came out and he basically thinks that Jadon Sancho will stay at Borussia Dortmund next season, regardless of what Manchester United offer for him in the summer. But I think we've identified him as our number one summer target, Jadon Sancho. Of course, only very, very, very young, only 18 years of age, only broke into the England first team last year as well, Jadon Sancho. He has still got a contract, don't forget, with Borussia Dortmund till 2022. Of course, the ex-Manchester City player, and of course, a couple of years ago, Manchester United were actually linked with him as well. He did serve a couple of years with City. He never got into the first team with Manchester City, of course, as well. But initially, Borussia Dortmund paid £8 million for him from Manchester City. But since he's broken into Borussia Dortmund first team, his performances have been fantastic. He's got immense talent. He's grown, developed, and flourished fantastically well as Jadon Sancho as well. But I do really, really like him. I've watched him quite a few times. I think he shows that ability to attack. He scores goals. He switches to play well, and I think he's a very, very good player. Sorry guys about that, but yeah, I think he's a very, very good player indeed. But I think he's attracted interest from quite a few teams, across Europe, as well as Jadon Sancho as well. But reports do say Man United are prepared to pay £100 million for him in the summer. Of course, and Borussia Dortmund, of course, have been known for doing business with their players. They sold Ousmane Dembele for 105, 106 million a couple of years ago. They sold Aubameyang for 58, 59 million pounds as well. But reportedly, Manchester United have been heavily linked with a move for Jadon Sancho, and there has been a narrative been going on about it now for the last 3 or 4 weeks or something like that. Reports did say City have inserted a buyback clause in his current contract. So City do reportedly, as it did say a while back, that they do have a buyback option on Jadon Sancho reportedly as well. But he is very, very young, as Jadon Sancho. It does seem to be a lot of the experienced players that are causing us a problem. So it would be ideal maybe for us to maybe get a couple of young players in that could grow, develop, and mould under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as well. And I've already updated you on all the other players that Manchester United of course have been interested in as well. But I do think now, Solskjaer will get the Manchester United job on a full-time basis without a shadow of a doubt, based on his fantastic progression so far, since he's come to the club. And he's done an absolutely fantastic job as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has said. He's on the verge of getting the Manchester United job permanently, of course. He did say Man United, were set to have contract negotiations with him. But I think, we're going to agree this during the international break. But so by the time we play Watford in the Premier League, by the time we play Watford in the Premier League, Solskjaer should be named Manchester United manager permanently. So Manchester United do want to announce this, of course, before we play Watford as well. So for me, he's done a really, really good job as Solskjaer, of course, making history in the Champions League, as manager, making history in the Premier League as well. Only suffered 1 defeat in the Premier League. We've only suffered 2 defeats in all competitions as well. And this game at the weekend against Wolves is Solskjaer's 19th match in charge of Manchester United, of course, as well. But yeah, definitely for me, the right man for Manchester United. He knows the club inside now. He's a good tactician. He knows his formations. It's good to see that he has got a lot of belief in the young players. And regardless of the injuries, he did say he was going to give everybody the chance, including the young players, the fringe players, get the players to express themselves, get them enjoying playing football again. And this is what exactly Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has done. At the moment, he hasn't got a great managerial pedigree at the moment, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But for me, I think he, in like terms of winning like any major honours, but I think now as Manchester United manager, if we can get some new additions into the club in the summer, I think definitely we can be a competitive elite level football club, and I do believe Solskjaer himself can start winning trophies with Manchester United as Manchester United manager, of course, as well. But he suits the chaplains of the club. Does Ole Gunnar Solskjaer? His managerial style suits the club. I think he's And I think he suits the managerial styles of the club, does Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, because he knows what he's doing, mate. He just knows what he's doing, and he's the right man for Manchester United, and he's getting the best out of these players as well, which is very, very good to see. And he was a great, great player for 11 years. Don't forget, great, great player for 11 years under Ferguson. Won 6 titles, won other trophies as well. Scored 126 goals in all competitions as well. Did Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So for me, definitely the right man for Manchester United without a shadow of a doubt. But it is essential that we can get some signs in the summer. There is still some contract renewals to sort out as well. Nothing much more has updated in that scenario as well. But yeah, we do expect departures in the summer. Matty O'Dam is another player who's going to leave Manchester United in the summer as well. I think he's still out injured as well, isn't he, Damian? Who I currently forgot to mention as well. But I think he's enjoyed a difficult time at Manchester United, and I think he's on his way out of Manchester United in the summer as well. But of course, I forgot to say as well, Rojo, as I did say, he's recovered from injury as well. Marcus Rojo, after he's been out injured for a long time, and he's struggled. He's enjoyed a very, very difficult time at Manchester United as Marcus Rojo, of course, because obviously he struggled. He's had a lot of injuries. He struggled with his fitness regime and all that as Marcus Rojo. But yeah, he's enjoyed a very, 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 very difficult time at Manchester United as well. But the big breaking news, I didn't say it on my last video or the one before that, because I didn't even hear about the news. I've just seen it now. It updated on the phone that Lukaku is definitely not going to be featuring in this game against Wolves. He's picked up an ankle injury reportedly. Reports do say that he picked this up against Paris Saint-Germain. Did Romelu Lukaku as well. He actually scored 2 goals against Paris Saint-Germain, as well in that game. But reportedly he suffered this ankle injury. Reportedly United have scanned him reportedly, and it's confirmed he remains sidelined. I think it's unknown yet, when he's going to return, Romelu Lukaku. Hopefully maybe for the Champions League. Maybe for the Champions League last day on the 9th and 10th of April, because that's obviously, when our ties are going to be played. I don't know. But he's reportedly suffered an ankle injury. He's had the scan. It's confirmed he's going to be sidelined as well, Romelu Lukaku. And it's a shame, really, because, he's recently been in really, really good form, to be quite honest with you as well. So we have been, getting absolute lot of injuries, to be quite honest with you as well. So yeah, he's suffered an ankle injury as Lukaku. He's set to miss Belgium's games during the Belgians games, during the international break as well. So yeah, he's got an ankle injury as Romelu Lukaku. But yeah, as I did say, I've already given you my team news on the game. De Gea will be dropped. Romero will be in contention. Dalot will be at right back. Shaw will be at left back. Will probably be Smalling and Lindelof as a centre back partnership. In the midfield, maybe could give the Fred the opportunity. Maybe McTominay maybe could be involved. I definitely think Matic probably will be playing, or he may be dropped. I do not know, but I think Solskjaer is going to rotate a little bit. Probably Mason Greenwood will get given the chance to make his FA Cup debut as well for Manchester United. Martial will be probably in contention as well. But yeah, he will be making rotations as I said. So anyway, guys, drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless, guys, and I'll see you guys all again very, very soon. Thanks for watching. I will be back tomorrow evening with the Champions League draw as well. I'll give you my reaction as well. So drop your likes on the video and take care. God bless.